राना मुबशिर आपकी खिदमत में हाजिर जी। आज 3 पाकिस्तानी जिनको ढूंढने में सारे मुल्क लगा हुआ है और प्रेशर माउंट करने की कोशिश की जा रही है। यूएन में पाकिस्तान के जो एम्बेसडर है वहां पे, जॉर्डन में और हर जगह पे हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं। सदर मुमलिकत और प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने भी कोशिश की है कि किसी न किसी तरीके से अपना प्रेशर असर्ट किया जाए। और जो पाकिस्तानी 3 मुतासर हुए एक हमले में, और जो हमला हुआ इजराइल की जानिब से, वो उनको ढूंढने की कोशिश की जा रही है। पूछते हैं फ्रॉम द हॉर्सेस माउथ जी कि क्या हुआ वहां पे, क्यों बोट पे अटैक हुआ, व्हाट वर द रीजंस कि वो अटैक किया गया और क्यों ये वाकया पेश आया जी। मेरे साथ मौजूद है मार्क रेव जी, स्पोक्समैन है प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इजराइल के। बेंजामिन नेतन्याहू के स्पोक्समैन है मार्क रेव जी। हाय मार्क।
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, sir.
Yeah. Mark, what happened in the international waters?
We had a flotilla of boats heading for the Gaza Strip.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, we have a water sea blockade of the Gaza Strip because there is a conflict between the Hamas regime in Gaza and Israel. And there are constant weapon smuggling from Iran, from Syria, to Hamas in Gaza, and we have to protect our civilians and prevent such arms trafficking. So there is not unfettered naval transport into Gaza. What we asked is that these activists bring their boat to the port of Ashdod, and that we were guaranteeing that all humanitarian aid would reach the people of Gaza. The Egyptian government made a similar offer through their port of Al Arish. Unfortunately, these activists were not interested in delivering aid, and they chose to ram our blockade.
So, when they rammed your blockade, you attacked them, right? Mark?
Yes, I didn't hear the question, sorry.
Mark, when they rammed your blockade, you had to take precautionary measures, right?
Correct. What happened was the vessels were approaching our territory, and we acted. We sent out a naval unit for a police action. The idea was, of course, just to tug the boats into our port of Ashdod. The idea was to act without any violence. The idea was just to redirect these boats to a different port. Unfortunately, the activists on the boats attacked our Navy servicemen with knives, with iron bars, and even with live ammunition. They initiated the violence. They are responsible for the violence.
Okay, so they, according to you, that they initiated the violence, but the footages which we see on the TV, on the television, what we see over there is these Israeli forces entering the vessel, and they're spraying bullets regardless. And what the impression which we are getting from these footages, which are being shown internationally on the televisions, these people were not armed as such. So how can you come up with this thing that these people were armed with knives and iron bars and all this stuff? But even if they were armed with iron bars and they had knives and all this stuff, wouldn't it be possible for you to handle them in a different way instead of spraying bullets?
Once again, I must stress, our forces were instructed to use maximum restraint and to minimum of force, because we saw this as a police operation. But once they proceeded to direct the boats to a different port, they were viciously attacked. They were their lives were threatened, and anyone who does not only has to see the very serious wounds incurred by our servicemen who are very badly injured by these attacks. I think it's clear that the people on the boat were not humanitarian activists at all. In fact, we know that they are part of the Turkish IHH group, which is a group that has been accused of having terrorist links both by governments in Western Europe and by the Turkish government itself. They are hardliners, they're extremists, and they wanted apparently a provocation.
Okay, how many people were there in the vessel?
I don't know exactly. We are only now finding exactly how many people were on the vessel. We did not wish to harm anyone on the vessel. Our forces were only returning hostile fire, responding to attacks against them. We planned to peacefully ferry the boat into the port of Ashdod.
Okay, how many casualties can you come up with? Can you come up with any figures?
We don't know exactly the number of casualties. This will be released shortly. We talk about maybe about 10 of our servicemen who are injured, and we're talking about maybe 10 or more casualties on the other side. We regret every casualty, but the side responsible for the violence is the side responsible for the casualties, and this is the activists on the boat.
So according to you, these were like IHH group.
IHH group.
IHH group. What does that stand for? IHH.
The Turkish government itself as extremists.
Okay. What does IHH stands for?
I don't know. It's in Turkish.
It's in Turkish.
I'm not familiar personally with the Turkish language. I apologize. If you go to Google, you will find all the necessary information.
Okay.